Great to have you on. 13 years you've been at Saracens now. That's a long old innings, especially kind of in this day and age, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gone in the blur, really. I think it was like being at two different clubs in a sense of the change when sort of Brendan Venter and Edward Griffiths came in. But it's been an amazing journey. Very, very lucky what it's given me, and the people from Nigel right at the top to the coaches that have all been there have been fantastic, and I've loved every minute, really. How
was it changed? I'm just really interested. How big was that change when they came in?
Well, I think quite openly we weren't a successful organisation. You played against us a lot, and we were pretty poor in a sense. Really, we weren't consistent. And we didn't really have a sort of unity at all. So I think it was massive for us to sort of have Brendan and Edward come in and give us a very clear guidance and a lot of clarity in what we need to do, and instill some principles. And he did that, and it's not just about putting words to it, it's about living it day in, day out. And Brendan was massive with that, and he did a great job. And then Mark took over the reins and has taken us up and up.
Clear guidance, principles, and some pretty decent trips.
Yeah, no, the trips are pretty special.
What's your favourite? Yeah, your favourite one.
My favourite. You have this debate sometimes, and I think...
Was it Miami? Was it
Oktoberfest?
Yeah.
Was it the beer festival?
Yeah, I think we went to your restaurant in Burbit, I think.
You may have done, yeah, didn't pay the bill. That's all right.
Yeah, complaints. I think probably Miami for me was pretty special. It was, I think, the first year or second year, I think we went on trips, and very new to us. We were in camper vans to start with. We went down to Florida Keys, and I spent a lot of time with the guys together and sort of having a lot of fun. And then went back into Miami and went to the baseball and the basketball, and we had a great time together as a group. And I think then to finish off the year and win the Premiership that year was really special. So it has a lot of memories there for that trip. But I think just every time you go away, you spend time with your mates. Time that this day and age, everyone's very busy. Everyone's got families. It's difficult to have that quality time. And actually, when you go away, you talk about serious things. You get to know people even better. And I guess for me, being at the club a long time, there's still guys who are new, who I don't know that well, and it's a really good opportunity to get to know them and what motivates them, what they want to try and get out of life, and that's pretty special at the club.
What was the most glamorous trip you went to when you were playing with Wasps?
We never got to Miami, trust me.
Anywhere close?
No. Okay. No. Maybe on tour, but you're right, it's about creating memories together. But, when you're winning and you're working together on the field and you're successful, I think you need to have that time where you spend together off the field, enjoy each other's company, away from the pressures of training and playing. And it certainly shows.
It works for you guys.
I think it goes back to, we were told, look, you'll be treated unbelievably well, your family's looked after, everything like that, but in return you have to work incredibly hard. And it's never been in doubt that when we're on the training field, when we're preparing for games and everything, you give 100%, and there is nothing lacking there, and you go for it. And it's pretty easy. You get looked after well. You want to work hard for the organisation. You don't want to let anyone down. If you're close to your friends, if Global's covering my left side, you're on the right. You don't want to let these guys down because you respect them. You don't want to lose that respect, and they're your mates. And it makes it quite easy to work harder and keep going at it and going at it every single day.
Well, it's made it an unbelievable environment, which has actually created a huge amount of success. I mean, you guys have pretty won everything domestically. You've won the European Cup a couple of times. I mean, what was your favourite winning moment? I mean, there's quite a few to pick from.
Yeah, I think from my point of view, when we beat Leicester in the Premiership final, it was 2-11. For me was massive. I think the year before we'd lost to Leicester very late on, and we perhaps didn't believe we should be there. And the year after we played well, we got to the final, and I think we were brilliant at the start. We started off really well, and then it came down to that sort of siege on our line where we were 4 points up. For 8 minutes we were defending our line past 80 minutes, and I think the togetherness there that we showed, the fight for each other to just keep repelling them, stopping them. They were inches away from the line, and just to keep going, that feeling at the end when we won it and we'd worked towards that, and you think you're never going to get a chance of that again. It was fantastic, and just to do it with a group of guys who you're very close with, and it's never going to be the same team again. That was very special.
I guess the European success that you've had has kind of come from not failure, but not getting where you wanted to be, and then it makes it even more special when you do get that success, right, as a team, because you guys have been together for a while.
Yeah, I think you know, it's not easy to conquer Europe. You know, it's very, very difficult, and we had a lot of struggles early on, and it took the group to really, you know, get better and better together and go through some tough lessons. You know, losing to Toulon, losing to Clermont, some really tough lessons for us to get there. And when we did, you know, it was an amazing feeling of a lot of years of working incredibly hard to get to that moment, and I'm still not photogenic in any photo, it would seem. So.
You just mentioned Clermont, you just mentioned Toulon. Would you ever fancy a little stint in France?
I think for me, at the moment, it's been a privilege to be part of Saracens in this journey, and I'm extremely happy there. I think, you know, while I'm not with England, for me, it's about winning as many trophies as possible, and that's what drives me, is to be a massive success with this club, the only club I've known, and give back, you know, so much, because they've given so much to me. And from my point of view, I'm just really happy to be at a club which is always fighting week in, week out, or year in, year out, sorry, for trophies, and for me that's my biggest motivation.
You just mentioned that you're out of the international picture at the minute. Might be a slightly difficult question for you to answer, but Six Nations...
He's going to ask anyway.
Yeah.
Who would you pick at 15?
I think you've got to go with what you did in the autumn. You gave Elliot a go, and I thought during the games he got better and better, and we saw the ability he has in that last game, that when you give him any space, he's electric. And you want players like that in the game. You know, add to that his kicking range is phenomenal. So I think he'll only grow in that position and get better and better. I think, you know, the wins that England got towards the back end of that, and the performances were fantastic towards the end, and especially against Australia, obviously. And they've got to take that forward into the Six Nations. And I think Elliot's a big part of that, and he's, you know, a very, very talented player. And the more games he plays there, the better he'll go.
I'll tell you what would be useful to have at Saracens, wouldn't he?
He would be useful to have.
Geez.
Yeah, yeah.